Hey everybody, this is Dr. J, Professor Spike and Kamal, streaming live from Long Island, New York. I have before me what looks like the spiders.
The spiders.
What's that?
Spiders from
Nursery rhyme? What's the nursery rhyme with the spider?
the itsy bitsy spider. And this one went up and down the spout.
Ah, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's an appropriate nursery rhyme. There's another one with the spider sat down beside her or something.
Right. Yes.
Forgot that one.
So are we back on an upward channel now, or
Well, I'm looking at this and you know, yesterday Wednesday I told the world when it hits the around $400 in the upper end of the channel, time to short or take something off. So what I did is I bought SPXU and got lucky with as the market turned south at the end of the day. So I made a few bucks on a day trade. But admittedly, I got lucky. I mean, Janet Yellen, I don't know what she said that scared the market, but she did a good job.
Why do you blame her?
Well, apparently he was happy after Powell, but she kept talking to Congress. I don't know what she said.
I see.
She's a very nice lady, by the way,
I'm sure.
but maybe not the best Treasury Secretary. I think she was better as a Fed chair.
Mm. Well,
In other words, I'm not
Very
sure how good a
different.
politician she is. If you're very nice, can you be a good politician?
probably not.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well, anyway, thanks, Janet.
Hmm.
Help me out.
Damn it, Janet.
Janice, what's her name? Janet Yellen, right?
Yeah.
Janet Yellen.
So it's not clear whether or not we're going up or going down.
Well, it's really not. I mean, the way I look at it, if you go back to the lows here, what was it, 348? That spiders hit 348 on October something or other. October, I can't see, 13. And after that, we went up. Let's review. We went up to, looks like this level here on 12, I can't read, 13, 12, 13.
Right.
We topped out at 410. And then we pulled back to the low of 374.77. And we proceeded to have another leg up all the way to 418. 418 is that? It looks like that. And then a leg down. So we have what could be an Elliott wave 1 up to 1213, an Elliott wave 2 up to this candle here at 1222, and then then the first part of an Elliott wave 3, and then the second part with a 3-part correction that's now over, and we're now on the fourth wave of what looks like maybe a 7-wave pattern. How do you like that for crazy optimism?
I see that. I actually see that. I see that we are at the beginning of an upward wave.
Yes, it does give that appearance that we could be like, this could be like a five wave up, an impulse wave, and then we get an ABC correction down to 313, and the start of a wave 3, which is usually a powerful wave, going up. It has that potential at this point. On the other hand, if you're talking about 400 banks that are essentially bankrupt, if they have to liquidate, that's dangerous, right? We're sitting on a keg of gasoline or something.
Did they all liquidate for the same reason?
Well, yeah, they're all underwater on their investments on the long bond. Everyone, it's about 400. Well, I heard 180, then I heard 400. So I don't know. Now, there's a lot. And I think they asked Janet Yellen, "Can you really save all the depositors, even above the 250?" And she said, "No, not without an act of Congress." So I think that's what spooked the market a little bit. Earlier in the day, she said, "Don't worry, we're making good," and everything. So it's political double and triple talk.
Mm.
So, I mean, if you're worried about that, and I guess you have to worry about that, you have to be cautious here. And, watch the tape. If you get a new low below 475, below 375, I might shed, or I might actually buy some protection, because it could easily go to Professor Omar's 340.
He's still holding that?
Yeah, he likes that number for some reason. No, 320. 320 was
Yeah,
his,
no, you're right. He had
I
a pretty dire number.
yeah, it was a bad number. I don't remember if it was 340 or 320. I can't remember.
Well, they both suck.
A lot of people are talking 320. And of course, Mike Wilson with his 300.
Your buddy.
Yeah. So despite that, the tape is looking pretty reasonably okay. And I haven't decreased the numerical value of my portfolio, other than by losses. That decreased it a little. But since the beginning of the year, I'm doing nicely. And January was a phenomenal month, but February gave back some, and March has been good to me so far. Not as good as January, but it's been a good month. And I've been selling my losers, buying my winners, by adding to my winners. Like today, I sold some IWM, which is underperforming the Qs and the spiders.
Where did you get in on that?
I added to the spiders, SPY, and I added to nvda today. I was thinking of taking a position in slgl. That's why I advertised that one, but I didn't. I didn't add to my aapl today, but I gave it some thought as well. So I'm trying to add to be a responsible person and add to the stocks that look like they have the greatest potential near term.
Makes sense.
Near term. I've trimmed my BCRX down to next to nothing. Sava, I trimmed in half. And so on. The losers I've either sold out completely or trimmed. Arenia, I've added to Arenia. AUPH.
Uh-huh.
I've added to ARDX. I've been adding. What else? I don't know. I can't
So
think.
did you make money or lose money in IWM?
Lost money.
Oh, you did. That's too bad.
But that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't look to see whether I gained or lost. I just making moves based on what looks like it's run out of steam versus what looks like it's going well, both on the chart and price action. So that's how I've been playing it. It matters not to me whether I'm making money on the sale or losing money on the sale. Immaterial. That's how I look at it, because it is what it is today. It doesn't matter what it was 6 months ago. Isn't that true?
Well,
Yes.
how do technical analysis if you believe that?
Anyway, what to do here? I've not been adding or decreasing my spiders. I've been adding to the Qs. let's take a look at it. But I'm not unhappy with. I'm content staying in SPY for now. The Qs have definitely been outperforming. They're making new highs. They actually made a new high today. Back down off of that high, but still finished up nicely on the day, over 1%. I think the only index that was firmly in the green today. What was SPY? That was up a little, right? Go back. It was up 0.26%.
1%, yeah.
It's not bad either, but I believe IWM was down on the day. I'll take a quick look. IWM. Yeah, the chart is just abysmal. It's hard to stay in IWM. I'm going to have to trim further. It's just an abysmal chart. So, by and large, it's, selling my losers and selling the ones with weak-looking charts. It's like, I don't know, it's like a simple formula. And usually it works out. You can make a mistake where you sell something low and it comes back. But by and large, if you sell your losers and keep your winners, you're going to be okay. And I wouldn't judge by whether they're winners or losers. I judge by how its recent performance. What can you do for me lately? Not what have you done for me. SLGL is one that what's the broker that gave them a strong buy today? I forgot. One of these lesser brokers, what analysts? I forget the name. Raymond James, maybe. I think Raymond James. You put in a strong buy on SLGL today, and it moved the stock up 5.5%. This one is a dermatology, clinical, and they both have drugs that are already in production, and they're also in the clinic. You're getting it looks like a good buy based on the fundamentals. They have an acne drug that prescriptions are starting to grow. So the fundamentals look pretty good. And they have, again, the stuff in the clinic that looks pretty promising as well. I like these dermatology companies. I've recently doubled off the bottom on Dermtech. So I didn't want to add any more to that because it hasn't been going very well. So I was thinking of adding to this one, maybe sell a little Dermtech and buy some of this. That's what I'm thinking of doing. nvda.
What a chart.
nvda has been a darling, but it's an ugly looking candle today. And yesterday, for that matter. I don't like two dojis in a row. A lot of uncertainty after a long run up. Might be due for a pullback. It would be reasonable enough for it. Or three dojis in a row. Look at that.
Yeah, but the market has been not so good the past 3 days.
That's true. It's been bucking the trend. But I still think we get a little pullback. It makes sense to get a little breather. I think you can pick up this one, let's say at the lows of the beginning of the week. This candle made a low at 251. I think you can get it. I think you can get this one 8% cheaper. So if you're patient and you want to own this one, I think it's a great one to own going forward, but you want to pick it up a little cheaper. I've been adding to it all along. So if I buy a few shares at this price and it goes down 20 points, I don't care. But if you don't have a position in this, I wouldn't chase it here. I would look for a pullback, 20-point pullback before going into it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And Apple has been extraordinary. It's like defying gravity, Apple. It broke 260 today, 160, I mean. Broke 160, pulled back at the end of the day. I think most of the market pulled back at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So the candle is not the worst candle in the world. It's not a good one. So you might, like nvda, you might try to get this one cheaper if you don't own it. And even if you do own it, you want to pick more up. I think you can probably wait for a little pullback to the 156 level. That's not much. But that's where it looks like you getting some support. 156, couple of points. In other words, I'm not sure you're going to get much of a pullback on this one. It's got the Momo. This one might be going straight to new highs. It might lead the market to new highs. I'm not sure that the market isn't going to go right to new highs from here. It looks like it has the potential based on the chart of the SPY. And Apple certainly, it has the same kind of great looking chart.
I agree.
Linus wants to take a look at AMD whenever you get a chance.
AMD is my second favorite chip stock. I don't own any, but it's a good one. Back above 100. Who'd have thunk it?
Huh?
Who'd have thunk it? We're back above 100 again. You know what? Just buy this one on a pullback the same way. This one, maybe you can pull back to 93, 94. It looks like a good entry point, right where I drew the line. That would be the entry point for AMD. And I think the potential for AMD is fabulous, along with NVIDIA. I think by the end of the year, they could be the market leaders, AMD and NVIDIA.
And you don't count Intel amongst any of those?
Huh?
Intel
is good, but I don't think as good as these other two. Intel is more conservative.
But the more that they threaten Taiwan, or the more that Taiwan appears threatened, why wouldn't Intel be the major beneficiary for this?
I don't know, because people don't look for the Pentium inside or whatever they call it.
Oh, right, exactly.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, so there's nothing unique about them. They were the dominant player, and AMD, they threw a bone. What did they say? Pentium inside?
No, they used to just say Intel inside.
Intel inside, yeah. But now nobody cares what's inside, like if it's AMD, Intel, whatever. Nobody cares.
Taiwan semi.
And it looks like NVIDIA and AMD got the chips to power the AI revolution. That's how it looks.
You're right, this guy looks like the ugly cousin.
Yeah. Any other interesting ones that you want to?
Anovis.
Which?
Anovis.
Anovis is very hot.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why.
Novus made me a lot of money today on paper. I didn't sell it, so it's only on paper.
Right.
I mean, it had a huge run into the 20s based on the trials starting for Parkinson's phase 3. That started middle of February. Midway through, that would be 3 months. There'll probably be a little update. And
These
there's
guys
also
are benefiting off of the bad news from Biogen.
maybe, but also there's presenting at a conference, I think in Sweden on March 28th. That's next week, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It's my birthday on Friday. Those who want to give me a birthday present,
Happy birthday.
donate
Happy birthday.
donate to the American Parkinson's Foundation.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
What else is there?
You want to look at Biogen?
Anovis' chart, by the way, the Anovis chart is not that great, but it has potential based on data coming. on the trial, midway through.
You're right. This chart looks like we're going down to 1750 right away.
Yeah, it looks like it's support what is that, the 100? It looks like it could collapse to about 14s. It's
Well, but okay.
right now it's running, but it looks like it could come back. Any kind of pullback on the market, it'll probably go to 1450. So you got to be a little careful.
Well, that's depressing.
You got to be a little bit careful.
That would be a revolting development.
But if it does, it's time to, and it's not based on any news, it's time to load up. So just gives people a chance to get in. I think this is a good one to own. Potential, low float, low market cap, hot area, Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. If they have something that's kind of works, that's good enough. Because there ain't nothing that really works.
Right.
If it just kind of works, that's good. All right. What else? MicroStrategy, take a look.
Oh, you might as well.
This is one of my mistakes. I sold a little of it at 200. It immediately popped to like 260. So I'm not everything I do is perfect. Far from it. This was a mistake. But by and large,
Isn't this still a Bitcoin play?
This is a Bitcoin play.
I guess, yeah, with the banks doing what they're doing.
I like support right at that what is it, 250 area. Looks
Yeah.
like good support there. Right at 250, where it started the day. So any pullback to that 250 area looks like an opportunity. Of course, it may want to fill the gap as well. It might get it even cheaper. The gap would bring you down to 241. It's very volatile. So any pullback on Bitcoin, you're going to get a pullback on MicroStrategy. So if you want to own this one in order to own Bitcoin, I think you look to get in a little cheaper, as both this one and Bitcoin may very well pull back a couple of $1,000 in price off Bitcoin. BTC.X has been hot as hell. Due to cool off a little bit. What did I do wrong? I don't know. Bitcoin, BTC, where is it? USD. Oh. Well, we're at 28,196. That's pretty phenomenal run off the recent lows. It was below 20,000, sitting at the 200 back here at the beginning of March. So in less than 3 weeks, it took off. Bitcoin is it's wild. I mean, apparently it's an alternative to US dollars when things get really bad. That's how I see it. It's not an inflation hedge, but it's an alternative currency. Is that the best way to think of it?
Makes sense.
I think that's how you got to think of it. I think you got to own a little of this, maybe and a little of gold. Why not? To own a little of each of them makes sense. I think. I'm not a big gold believer, but it did have a nice run recently. Not as nice as this, but it had a nice run. Take a look at gold. I never look at it, but I'll look at it. I never owned it. Not a gold bug. I don't know what makes it go up and down, but it's been going up, and you got a nice candle today and yesterday. So it's at new highs. looks pretty damn good. The chart is phenomenal on gold. GLD. What can I say? You know, even though I don't understand it, I look at the chart. I say it looks pretty good.
I'll give you my 2 cents on this. There is multiple countries in the world that are losing their currency are losing their value, like countries in the Middle East and the Far East. So people are jumping into gold,
And probably on Bitcoin.
right?
Probably,
But
probably
you know,
both.
the old timers, people are just, you know, they trust gold, if you will, instead of
Yeah, the
Bitcoin.
old. It's more trustworthy than Bitcoin, which is not understood that well. All right, so we went over a lot. Who's with us today? We have Linus, indubitably, AMD guy. All right. Let's see who else finds us. By the way, thank you for viewing, whether you're viewing live or you find us on replay. We're very glad to have you join us, join our little family. You got to find us. In order to find us, you got to subscribe, because I never know when we're going to be on lately. So usually Tuesday, Thursday at 4:30. But it could be any time. You don't want to miss us. Please subscribe. Give us a like. Show us a little love. Right, Kamal?
Yep.
Adios, amigos. Ciao.
Take care. Bye.